Good evening and welcome to Westdock. Just like that, full season of Westdock is coming to an end. This is going to be the last episode that we get to run between now and I guess September. So you can, but be assured you'll have lots of reruns you can enjoy on Rogers all summer long, every day basically. But we'll be back in the fall with new episodes on Tuesdays. We've missed a couple weeks actually because both myself and Gian have been out running around doing all kinds of different things. But myself, I'm just back from my experience at the East Coast Music Awards over in Sydney, Nova Scotia, which was just a couple weeks ago. And this is my first time attending as a board member of the ECMA, so it was interesting to view things from that lens. But one of my main takeaways was how impressive of a showing Newfoundland and Labrador put on during the ECMAs. We actually had more artists present than any time before, like in decades. And Newfoundlanders just really cleaned up with the awards. So great to see everybody. So great to see everybody's showcases. And congratulations to all nominees and award winners from the ECMAs. Next year, the ECMAs are going to be in Moncton, so that'll be really exciting as well. And of course, I look forward to being back there and seeing everybody from the Atlantic Canadian scene back in one place at the same time. So, but now we are back to business, and it is June, and that means it is Pride Month. And so it's a time to celebrate diversity and strength of the LGBTQ2IA+ community while recognizing those who've helped create positive change through advocacy, leadership, and education. And that is why we have our old friend Quinn Jesso here with us, Program Coordinator of Trans Support NL, to talk a little bit about Pride Month. Quinn, it's been a minute.
It has.
Thanks for coming down.
Anytime.
So last time you were here, you were with CMHI, the Community Mental Health Initiative, and now you've got this new role. So right off the bat, just for our viewers who maybe need to get caught up on this, can you tell us what Trans Support NL is and a little bit about your role with the organization?
So Trans Support Newfoundland and Labrador we are aimed for the trans and gender diverse community of Newfoundland and Labrador, and the main goal is to create safer places to offer education, systems navigation, because there's a lot of stuff out there, but if you don't know where to look, you're probably not going to be able to find it.
Right.
So, I mean, we offer a lot of programs across Newfoundland and Labrador. We have our counseling service, which is Mending Mondays. We have our peer support, which is both in-person and virtual. Yep. So that's in St. John's, here in Western, and in Goose Bay. We actually have representation in St. John's here on the West Coast, myself, and in Goose Bay as well. So we're definitely getting out there trying to do the good work.
Yeah, I mean, you've been out there doing this type of stuff anyway for years and years, of course. Like, you know, whenever there's proclamations and things in City Hall, every Pride event, we've been seeing you. But now you get to do this as your job.
I do, and I mean, and even when I was with the Community Mental Health Initiative, which I still work with, I think they're all still amazing individuals, and I have nothing negative to say whatsoever. I thoroughly enjoyed my time there, and I still want to continue working with them in the future. Even when I was there, they had no issues with me still trying to do the advocacy work within the community, because at the end of the day, it can still relate back to the mental health of an individual.
100%.
If you feel like you cannot be your 100% self, then you're not showing up as your full self, and everybody suffers. But if we were ever to live in a world where people were welcomed unconditionally so that they could be 100% themselves, imagine the good we could do in the world.
Yeah, imagine the peace we would all be at.
It would be so much. It would just be, you know, people wouldn't be judged for who they love. They wouldn't be judged for their expression of what is male, what is female, what is masculinity, what is femininity.
Yeah.
You would be treated on the merits of your character. Are you a good person? Are you doing good in the world? Are you trying to help your fellow community member? Are you trying to help your neighbor? Or sometimes you're doing it to help yourself and for the generations coming after you.
Yeah.
The work is there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. It's really interesting sometimes the things people choose to latch onto when they're making their assessments of other humans, and how we get sometimes overly obsessed with gender and race and all these factors, and really just eliminate considering people's humanity and their skills and their interests and their experiences and just the beautiful things that make people unique.
I think the uniqueness, and some people kind of have a little bit of fear for the uniqueness, But I've always said, like, if we were all cookie cutter and everyone looked the same and acted the same, the world would be one hell of a boring place.
It would.
Right? But humans have always, and society always liked to put people in boxes. You were male, you were female, you were a mechanic, you were this, you were this.
You were
like,
left, you were right.
You were left-handed, you're right-handed. You know, like they have specific boxes because it's almost like it's just ingrained in us to do so.
Yeah.
But when we remove that restriction and a person can be diverse, they can be a complex human being, they're no longer limited to the constraints of, well, if I'm outwardly expressing that I am male, I need to act a certain way. If I'm outwardly expressing that I'm female, I need to act a certain way.
Right.
If I am intersex, I need to act a certain way. Or if I'm trans femme or trans masc, I need to act a certain way. You don't need to act any way. And you don't owe anybody femininity, masculinity, androgyny. You owe it to yourself to be happy.
Yeah.
Right? And if you are happy, people in your circle are going to be happy, and everyone will just get along.
Happy.
The community gets
Yeah.
along. The community is better off for it because we can show up as our true and unfiltered selves. We can just be us, and the community will be so much better as a result.
Wow, that's very well said. And so in the context of Pride, you know, it's Pride Month, we have Pride parades, but what does Pride really mean? Like in this context, what does Pride mean? Big picture, what does it mean to you?
Pride to me, and I get asked this a fair amount of why do I think Pride's important, is because unfortunately we still have people out there that think the world is better off without them than for being queer. I don't know about you, but that hits nerves. That a person would think that this world is better off without them if just because they're queer. I can go unequivocally and say my own personal opinion, you are worth it, you are valued, you are loved, you are cared for, and this world is 1000% better off with your spark in it.
Yeah. And so this is the message of Pride, and this is the importance of Pride events to be seen, to make sure everybody gets. This is a message that people who need to hear it get, and you know what is it about Pride Month that can really get that message across to people?
I think when people see like the Pride parades or the Pride events where people are coming out as their authentic selves, they're not hiding who they are.
They're right here in this.
They're
in their own
here.
community.
They're in their own community, and then you've got community members and partners. I can't even use the word accepting because it's not a choice to accept them. They're part of the community. We've always been part of the community.
Right.
And just acknowledging that and being able to share that space, to have people understand that their opinions are valid, their lived experience is valid, and that they have so much that they can give to the community, and the community welcomes that. That is just the most beautiful part of community. We're all stardust on this blue marble going through space. The least we can do is get along.
Yeah. For the brief amount of time that we get to exist on this marble,
Right?
wouldn't it be so much better if we all just loved each other?
1000%. I think realistically, when you're looking at it, if we try to take a step back for a minute and realize that we want to leave this world better than the state than what we found it. And that's all I'm trying to do.
So you've been involved as an advocate for so long now in this community, kind of like an OG advocate, right? And I have to imagine that you've witnessed something that might resemble an evolution, like over this period of time. Can you speak to that at all, localized in our community? Like what has changed in our community over this last maybe 10, 15 years?
So since I've been doing this work, at least in the Corner Brook and Bay of Islands area, we are moving in the right direction. Now, is there pushback? Yes, of course. But that just means, at least to me, that there's more work to be done.
Right.
I mean, we're always going to get the hateful comments. We're always going to get the remarks and the sneers. However, to me, that just means there needs to be more education, more understanding, more compassion for your fellow human being in our community. And I try my very best not to look at ignorance as malice. I mean, hate is taught. It's not something you inherently have. And there's so much generational traumas. There's so much that gets passed on to generation after generation, and not all of it is good. Some of it is fantastic. Some, like, mom teaching you how to make bread, and dad teaching you how to fish.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good skills that gets passed on. But when the negativity and that hate gets passed on, that's where the education needs to be there to really show people the difference.
Do you think that, as a Newfoundlander living here, do you think that there is a world where that hate can disappear? Or do you think there's just always going to be this element, and it's about minimizing and overcoming that with education and, awareness? And
I think everybody has a bias, whether it's unintentional or intentional, and I just truly hope that people will eventually understand that we're not trying to take anything from anybody. The community exists for all of us, for all walks of life, whether you're Indigenous, whether you're a person of color, whether you're part of the queer community. And there's space for us here just as much as there's space for anybody else.
yeah,
And once we realize that, and we understand the level of complexity and diversity that we can bring to the bigger picture as a result, the community prospers.
yeah,
Right? The education is the biggest part. Like, once the education is there and people are able to talk about it more frequently in schools, starting young, and understanding that, cisgender, or identifying as the sex that you were assigned at birth, isn't the default for everybody, right? Like, you've got people out there who may not identify with male and female at all. Maybe they were assigned male at birth, but they identify in a certain way. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not broken. We're not mentally ill or anything of that nature. We are who we are. We are how we were born. This is who we are. And being able to express that and to be accepted for that, I think that's a beautiful thing.
but there's still lots of work to be done. And
There
it's
is
just, so it's just
very
like a
much.
normalization thing. It's like getting the community to a place where we just recognize this is how it is. And I guess what I'm hearing from you is you recognize that there's still always going to be some voices over there, but we just need to get, to a place where we all know that this is a thing. This is where we are as a society.
100%. We will get there.
Yeah.
It may not be in my lifetime, and I wish it was, but
crazy
part
to
of me
think.
is understanding of that as well. Is like, I don't want to do this for me. I want to do this for the generations coming after me, so
Yeah.
they don't have to deal with half of what I've been through. Or the
Yeah.
generation that was before me. They did the work so that I wouldn't have the same struggles that they had, and vice versa.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're all trying to just make the world better than what we found it.
Interesting. Are there things that are there resources and things that exist today in our community now that didn't exist that would have been beneficial to you, like at a different time in your life? Can you clearly see that, if this existed when I was younger, this would have been very helpful? Or
I think the lack of education when I was young, I'm an 80s kid, so I mean, everything back then was kind of chaotic.
Right.
But I think that if the education was there, so that way when gender was being talked about in the health classes and the science classes, that if we understood that gender is a spectrum and it's not just black and white, A or B, then that would have made so many other people feel more comfortable in their own skin as
Yeah.
a result. Like, when I was in school, nobody talked about transgender individual unless it was a gimmick on a TV show.
And was it in your heart and mind at that time? Like for your
The
in your personal
education
story?
wasn't there, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't have the words for it to know what it was, and that's the worst. Like, when you know there's something like in you that is different, but you don't have a word to put it on, and if you don't have that word to put it on, then you don't know how to share that with other people to see if they have similar experiences. That makes things very complicated.
Yeah.
And I don't mean a definition per se, but just something that you can say, yes, that's me,
Right.
right?
Yeah, and having other people, and I guess that's the community piece too.
That's the
is
community
being able to
piece.
identify in a community where you might be able to go to explore this a little bit more.
When I was younger, there was no Instagram. There was no, I am pre-Google, okay?
Right, yeah, me too, yeah.
Right? So we didn't have the type of online communities that we do now. And I started this journey around 2015, And that was my recourse back then, was the Instagram groups, the Discord groups, the Reddit subpages of other queer and trans individuals sharing their story, so that way the rest of us knew we weren't alone.
Yeah.
And I think for anybody out there who's listening and watching this, think of a time when you honestly felt truly alone and how limiting that felt. And now imagine what it feels to have a community behind you and you don't feel alone. How much more empowered you feel in your own life to do the things that you want to really make change in the world.
Yeah.
That's where community comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. Being alone the feeling of being alone is very scary.
It is by far one of the most terrifying things ever. And it's sad that a lot of us from my generation had to adapt to that and be able to be alone and feel alone, but still able to function. It's no wonder a lot of us still are dealing with that.
Right.
And especially so I spent the majority of my life presenting as male and dealing with the societal stigmas of men need to be stoic, men don't talk about their feelings, men do this and men don't do that. You know, that is so much pressure to put on stuff. Like, another thing I would like to add as well, and we see these comments frequently, is like, what about men's health? Like, yes, June is Men's Health Month. June is also Pride Month. There's plenty of room in the community for both.
Yeah, there's a beautiful overlap there.
There
actually.
is a fantastic overlap there. And I support men's mental health as much as I know a lot of male-identified individuals in our community support Pride. We support them, they support us, because that's what community does.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's not, if I get 50%, you get 50%. It's, we help each other, then everybody gets the support.
Yeah, that's one of the most annoying things that I see this time of year in this month is, where's this parade? Where's the straight white guy parade? Where's it? You know, it's just like, it's just that. It's that there has to be this and or.
It's a one or the other. And those situations.
It's a weird mentality.
It is, and I never did understand it because I never did view the world that way.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not a limited pie and there's only 6 slices. Like, it's, we can all share the community.
Yeah.
I will go to your events. You can come to mine. We can go and just interact and communicate, because maybe we have resources that will benefit you. Maybe you have resources that will benefit us, and together we're stronger. Right?
Yeah.
But again, that is where community comes in, because once community gets involved and the supports are there for all the minorities, the community gets stronger. And the stronger our community is, the more uplifting, the more empowering people in our community are going to feel, and we're going to be doing amazing things.
Quinn, you are bang on here today. I feel like this is one of the realest talks we've ever had in all of our interviews, so I really appreciate this. And I'm certain that this is resonating with all kinds of folks at home and our viewers. So why don't we bring this back together now that we've broken down some of these barriers by talking about this month, what's going on in this community and how we should all be coming together, supporting each other, types of events that are on the go. Can you just run us through Corner Brooks and Corner Brook Bay of Islands, Pride Month, and what to look out for, some events that people might, I know there's so much, you maybe can't get into all of it, but.
There's been a lot. There's already been a couple so far. So we did our proclamation signing and flag raising at City Hall on June 1st, which was amazing. I was present for the RNC when they did theirs. And I support that. I know a lot of people in the community may not, but we need to be able to mend bridges over time and get, again, community.
Yeah.
So when they ask if I can attend something like that, I will do it on behalf of myself, and because I think that's meaningful. It has purpose.
For sure.
CNA had theirs on the 3rd, I believe, and so did Grenfell. There was the Men's Health Barbecue was actually taking place on the 6th of this Saturday past, so I think they got a little bit damp, but they still had a good time. But that was beautiful because there were lots of diverse individuals there as well.
Yeah.
Then we have the board games night. It's going to be at the public library. We're calling it games. A nice play on words there. I personally
like G-A-Y-M-E-S.
G-A-Y-M-E-S.
Love it.
I loved it when I seen it. I'm like, I'm keeping that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be at the Corner Brook Public Library. The Corner Brook Status Women is doing button making. That's going to be on the 11th. We actually have our craft fair this weekend on the 13th up at Grenfell's Atrium, so that's going to be really good.
Is that
Local
all weekend
vendors.
or just Saturday?
Just Saturday.
Cool.
Laser tag is going to be at the Vine Place Community Center on Sunday. There is the upcoming Pride Parade, which is the big doozy of the month. That's on the 27th from 12 to 4. We've got 2 amazing drag queens as our grand marshals. We have
really?
Miss Diagnose and Mediva Tux. They'll be our
Famous.
They are famous. They are amazing,
Yeah.
and they've always been just beautiful, wonderful people.
Yeah.
DJ Mel is back again this year to keep the field pumping for us. So we're going to leave with music, come back to music.
Can you talk about the route just real quick? Just
Yes,
where,
so
people
we're
should
going to
be?
be leaving Majestic Lawn and going down west, looping back on Park and coming back again. That route was suggested to us for a number of reasons. One, is a bit shorter.
It's a good route.
But with the sidewalks and the relatively flat surface, anybody with mobility issues can
Yeah.
still get around. My partner, for example, has a wheelchair. They are able to attend that if they wish. So that's going to be really good. Halipoo is joining us again this year. They're doing the barbecue for us, so we'll have food and drinks. We'll have music going. We'll have the Queens there for some photo ops as well. So I think that's going to be an absolutely amazing event. Rain or shine, we'll have a time. There's CNA is doing a trivia night. It's going to be at their campus. They're also going to be doing a Meet the Community, where they have a couple of panelists coming in, so you can come in and actually meet members of the queer community and have conversation. So there's so much going on, and so many that I didn't even come up with at this point.
Yeah.
But if anyone is looking, they can go to Corner Brook and Bay of Islands Pride social media pages, and all of the calendar events are there. And as new events come up, because we try our best, because we're a small committee. We do our best to try to get events every year, but we really try to put the onus on the community as well, that if you want to show pride in our community, then do an event. You know, it doesn't have to be big. Do tie-dye t-shirts, do a water balloon fight. Like, have something, make it a diverse event, make it open, make it welcoming, make it a safe place, and that's what we do as a community.
Sounds fun.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a time.
There's something for everybody. I'm probably going to shoot you a note after, because in my day job, we're a volunteer organization, and I think there's maybe some areas where we can support the parade. I'd love to talk to you about after.
Sure.
We just got the light from Gian, which means it's time to bring it home. So I would love to just once again open the floor to you. If there's any message that you want to send to anybody that might be listening, anything at all that you would want to leave on the table here to close this out.
I think my closing message would be that the amount of fear out in the world, people will overcome. If we let fear stop us from doing the things that we need to do, we're not going to get anywhere, right? Like, most of the most beautiful and amazing things that we have done in this world were locked behind fear. And we can't let that stop us from being ourselves, from sharing who we love, and coming together as a community. There's always, unfortunately, going to be hateful comments and remarks, but I think at the end of the day, as I jokingly told a friend, I'm more stubborn than they are mad, and I'm going to continue in my very best to try to give a voice to those who may not have a voice right now.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate your time on this busy month, for coming down.
Thank you very much for having me.
And we'll definitely be having you back next season.
Looking forward to it.
That was Quinn Jesso. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to close out this episode, so stay tuned.
Come to where the land and the spirits are intertwined. Discover a whole new way to see this place. Feel the earth under your feet as you walk the path of our ancestors. Immerse yourself in our traditions. Ours is a culture alive with music, dance, art, nature, and adventure. It's in the air, the water, the sound of the wind in the trees, It's in the stories of our elders and the faces of our children, those with a shared history yet to discover. It's knowing that everything that casts a shadow has a spirit. Everything is alive. See what we see. Experience Malibu.
So why volunteer at Rogers TV? Well, it's fun, exciting, and challenging. You can develop practical, hands-on skills in TV production, make new friends, and have fun, all while giving back to your community. For a few hours a week, you can be part of a great team making great local television. Want to find out more? Get in touch with us at rogerstv.com. Make your mark and find a new passion as a Rogers TV volunteer.
And that's it for this final episode of West Talk for the season. It's certainly been nice to come in here every week and have this opportunity to chit-chat a little bit with some great people in our community and to see you, sort of, in a way. I want to thank Quinn Jesso. She's the program coordinator of Trans Support NL for telling us all about Pride Month, how we can get involved and why we should get involved. And so we're looking forward to seeing you out at some of these great events happening this month. That's it, guys. I wish you all a very safe, a very happy, prosperous, and peaceful summer with your families, with your friends, with your dogs, whatever. Enjoy it. Can't wait to see you guys again. Can't wait to see you out in the community this summer. Make sure you come up and say hi. We always love to talk to the viewers when possible. Take care. Have a great summer. Loves you. Bye.